Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video I want to explain why I won't be protecting my Musa basjoo bananas over winter. So let's get straight into it.
Great northern exotic, botanist vibes hypnotic. Cacti in the crib, got the desert.
We're in October now, and this is a time of year when anyone growing Musa basjoo hardy banana plants outdoors in the UK has to think about what to do over winter, whether they're protected or not. Elsewhere in the garden I've chopped down my gunnera and protecting them. The arid bed is also under cover now. The greenhouse is starting to be prepared for winter. So why am I not doing anything with these bananas? Well, there's a few reasons, so stick around to the end of the video and I'll explain, and maybe you'll agree with me. Before we get into the whys and hows, I just want to show you the flower, which is fully finished flowering now. It did have the petals opening until recently, but I think the colder temperatures have put a stop to that. But you can see just there, look, if I zoom in, you can see the bananas there. Now, of course, this means that this central pseudo stem here will be cut down. I'm chopping that back down to the ground because it dies back once it's flowered. So this is gone, this one. But if anyone's familiar with my videos from this time last year with the banana plants, you'll remember that I did a little experiment, and I will link to these videos in the description and in the cards as well, so keep an eye out for them. But this time last year I conducted an experiment whereby I wrapped up these two pseudo stems with horticultural fleece, and I left this pseudo stem unprotected over winter. Now, of course, if you go back 5 years, these two here were the original two pseudo stems. This one here is a pup from this one. So these are the two oldest ones. And the results of that experiment were that this unprotected pseudo stem lost about a foot of height altogether. And the rest of the pseudostem was really solid, and it made me think, was there any point in protecting any of it if I lose just a foot in height? Now, since then we've had a decent summer. I've had to water it because it's been relatively dry, but it's been very warm, and I just want to draw your attention to the difference in girth, so to speak, of the pseudo stems. So this one that was unprotected has actually got a lot of dead leaf material protecting it. It's in there, it's pretty solid and substantial, whereas this one that hasn't flowered and wasn't protected is really thin and slender in comparison. And if you look, we have had some storms already, but there's only 3 leaves left on it at the end of the season. This one actually has grown taller than any of the other ones. Obviously I can't include this one because it flowered, so there it didn't put any, after it flowered it didn't put any new leaves out. But if I step back a little bit, you can see the difference in height. So the one that was shorter and unprotected is a lot stronger a plant now, a stem now, than this one, which I mean, I'm drawing some conclusions from that I might be wrong, because it's obviously other factors could be involved, but there's more leaves, the leaves are bigger, and the pseudo stem altogether looks healthier, having not been protected over winter. The other thing I want to point out as well is that if you look at the overall look of the leaves, a lot of the prevailing winds come from the west and the southwest of my garden, which is that direction, and there's a little bit of shelter from the eucalyptus trees. But you can see when the banana plants are above the fence line, I suppose, they just get totally shredded in the wind. And over the last 5 years of protecting the banana plants over winter, the aim has been to maintain as much height as possible on them, but I'm now thinking along the lines that maybe the height having taller plants is not as good because they get shredded. Look at these pups down here that have come, and these have really grown. See the green growth there, that's all brand new this year, but these leaves have been in better condition for most of the season than these taller ones. And if I go around the corner here where I'm trying to start another clump of banana, these are totally sheltered. Obviously this one's a lot more sheltered because it's below the fence line, but the leaves are looking a lot better than they are over there. So I think going forward, I'm not going to do any protection to the banana plants. What I think I'm going to do, obviously I'll cut down the pseudo stem that has flowered, and I think that's quite, I might make a video on that because it's quite interesting. I'm going to maybe dissect the flower and have a little look inside, look closely at it. But for the other pseudo stems, I'm just going to gradually cut back the leaves as they bend over and snap in the wind. If there is a hard frost, I'll probably cut them back, but I'm not going to do any protection. I might just take the top off and let them do what they do. Now if we have a really harsh winter, then they might die to the ground, but they'll be absolutely fine. Last winter we had a couple of nights of -5, and we had about a week, I think in December, where the daytime temperatures didn't rise above freezing, and that's the result. This one is the result, a really healthy, solid pseudo stem that has grown more than the ones that were protected. So obviously I'm up in West Yorkshire. People living in different parts of the country might have different ideas and different plans, and I'd be interested to know what you're doing if you grow banana plants outside. But for me, I think it's as I've got more into this hobby, and as I've been growing tropicals and kind of near tropicals for a couple of years, I'm getting a bit more blasé about protection over winter, and for me it's more about the survival of the fittest. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, that's fine. So yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to cut the leaves back and just leave it and see how it goes. And if people are interested in how the experiment's going throughout the winter, I'll post more regular updates. But do have a look at those previous videos if you're interested in what I did last year. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.